in its diversity. The referendum was to centralize power and to bring one common vision, the vision of Cameroon, taking into consideration that at that time there was the West Cameroon and there was the East Cameroon. The West Cameroon operated in a semi-autonomous manner, still within the territorial integrity of the United Republic of Cameroon. And under the West Cameroon, then it was a federal structure. They had their West Cameroon parliament, and they had also their structures that governed. President Amadou Ahidjo at the time saw that the French Cameroon and the English-speaking Cameroon, former Southern Cameroon, now West Cameroon, for the two to come together and build a nation with their bijuria and bicultural, there was a need of a unity. And that is why the referendum was organized. And under the referendum, it began in 1966 when Ahidjo realized that the easiest way to merge Cameroon is first restricting the press and also restricting the manner and freedom of speech and expression. And that was why in 1966, President Amadou Ahidjo brought in what was known as the 1966 Draconian Press Law. That made it difficult for the press to operate independently, because at the time of the West Cameroon, the press operated independently. The West Cameroon press operated under the 1917 Newspaper Ordinance Law of Nigeria that gave them the freedom of speech and freedom after speech. And that did not criminalize libel and sedition. It permitted you to publish your newspaper, and you can only be charged to court proving innocent. You are innocent until proven guilty. The press of West Cameroon were free. And that is how, when there's a freedom of press, the political party enjoy multi-party politics. Multi-party politics doesn't sink without freedom of speech and expression. And I just saw that and realized that the press in West Cameroon was free. And to make it possible for this unity without any much pressure or without public outcry is to bring the 1966 Draconian Press Law. And this law banned the publication of newspapers that were seen critical of the government. And this law made senior divisional officers, governors, administrative officials, editor-in-chiefs of newspaper. By this, there was an introduction of pre-publication censorship. What is pre-publication censorship? By pre-publication censorship, it means that before a newspaper publishes an article or does a publication for an issue, that newspaper must take all what they have written and go to the SDO if they are in a division and give it to the SDO. The SDO will look into the newspaper articles and tell you that remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this, and go and publish this. It is only when you have given it the dummy to an administrative officer for edit, and before you can now move to publish. And that same law made it criminal for a printing machine to print an article that is seen seditious or against the government, which means that if a newspaper is printed that critical of the government without passing through pre-publication censorship, that printer will be confiscated. And the person reading that newspaper, even if they see you on the street reading the newspaper, you'll be arrested. And the same crime that is given to the publisher is given to you. That was why it was known as the 1966 Draconian Press Law. And it was that step that Ahidjo brought forward. The media could no longer criticize him, because in French Cameroon, they had actually mauled the press. The press was not that free. It was only in the West Cameroon that the press was free. And when the 1966 press law was passed, it became now an issue for newspapers. And that was how he moved now to 1972 referendum. And this was to merge all political parties into the CNU party and to make it possible for Cameroon to have one central vision. We are counting more than 45 years since the 1972 referendum. How united are Cameroonians today? How united are the people of West Cameroon and East Cameroon? How much unity did Ahidjo achieve his objective? There was a school of thought within the government circle from the government itself of 1972 stating that the reason for the abolition of the federal structure was because of the expensiveness in running the system. But Political pundits argued that it was a means of assimilation. Regardless of how you see it, we are counting many years down the lane how united are Cameroonians. President Paul Biya in the Paris summit with Mo Ibrahim declared on avait la possibilité de l'intégrer, mais ça n'a pas marché. That is, Cameroon is united in its specificity by Jurian nature. Now we will be celebrating 20th May, another national day. How united are the people when we sing the beautiful rendition, Au Cameroun, de nos ancêtres, va debout et jaloux de ta liberté. How ready are we for unity and how united are we? This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. I want to wish happy Sunday to all those of you watching us at home and abroad. Those of you watching us in Menchum, in Meme, those of you watching us in Dian, those of you watching us in Manu, those of you watching us in Furawa, those of you watching us across the east and the west, and far north, and those of you watching us in Idiabato, Isangele, those of you watching us in Miami, those of you watching us in Moya, and those of you watching us out of Cameroon. I want to wish you a very big happy Sunday and a happy National Day ahead, because National Day will be on Wednesday, and that this is our first program to National Day. I want to wish you a big happy National Day, and also wish you, Mr. Nyam and your wife, happy Sunday to you, Juan, and also Maya Kelia Senior, happy Sunday to you. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists. We apologize for the technical late start of this program, because we can only preview, God knows why. In the studio, we are joined by Brain, who is from the Jovians Party, and he is one of those who are active, preparing and waiting for the municipal and legislative election. They think they have what it takes for the youths to provide their own experience in developing their nation. Happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday and thank you for the opportunity. I'm happy to be here with my fellow fathers and brothers and you too. And for this edition, the Jovians Party is here to talk on the unity of Cameroon, how far we have gone for these 45 years. So thank you. We'll be happy to share together with you.
In the studio, we are joined by one of Cameroon revered engineers, in the person of Engineer Dixon, someone who is very fundamental in training Cameroonians in higher education to meet up with the modern day reality and to be able to face the ever-changing landscape. And he has trained a lot of students at the level of the higher education family, and he's here to give Cameroonians his own opinion as to how far and best we can make the nation work for everybody. As we say, des services that your liberty will be in our nation. And also with us here in the studio, he has been a firm believer of the fact that the rule of law must be respected and that Cameroonians must be able to go and get the accurate knowledge and know what their nation stands for by being informed, so that they can be able to make an informed decision. Engineer Dixon, happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday to you, Mr. Javis. Happy Sunday to my fellow co-panelists, and happy Sunday to our televiewers, and most importantly, happy Sunday to the administrators of this beautiful nation, Cameroon. We are looking forward towards the celebration of the National Day come Wednesday, 20th May, which commemorates the day Cameroon unanimously, according to history, decided to change the form of the state to centralized state. And Mr. Javis, permit me say congratulations to two great sports icons of Cameroon. I think for those who were keen to their TV screens last night, Francine Gano secured a win for himself, and as well raised our nation's flag so high. I love the energy that Cameroonians give to that fight last night. We were all up right up to 4 a.m. and
people did not sleep.
Yeah, we were up. We were up.
was
We
like
all
a Champions
celebrated. If you can look at my eyes, it tells you that I sacrificed my sleep just to see a brother live his dream, his career, and why not make Cameroon visible on the international stage. I also want to say congratulations to an elder brother, Samuel Etofis, president of Feka Food, for a job well done for completing the national jewel, the Feka Food new head office in Yaoundé. I think which Katiza is in Bala.
No, in what?
Yeah.
What
the support was visible. I think the head of state sent a representative. The joy was enormous. Minister of Territorial Administration was present. The Prime Minister was present. And many senior dignitaries of the government were all present. I think it's a huge milestone for the Football Federation. And as a patriotic Cameroonian, I can only say congratulations, Mr. President, a bravo. Thank you, Mr. Javis, for having me.
Thank you very much. In the studio, we are joined by Mr. Kimbang Vitalis, who is a member of the Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement. His militancy has always been questioned by some Cameroonians who ask the question that, are you sure this man is of the CPDM based on his objective analysis and critical input when it comes to matters affecting the nation? People think that he's not singing the song that many CPDM militants do sing when it concerns issues of national interest. He has always made it clear that when it concerns issue of national interest, objectivity must be put forward. It is not whether you are in a particular party or not that everyone feels a problem, and that there is nothing as a CPDM traffic, there is nothing as an opposition traffic. When there is traffic, we all are in traffic. And he has always made it clear that there is no one who is segregated from being a victim as far as the conflict in the northwest and the southwest region is concerned. His view is that it is not only CPDM, SDF, or whichever political party are affected when it comes to the conflict in the northwest region, and that we all are affected. Reason why we must look at things from an objective position and not just from a party lines. Kimbang Vitalis works in the northwest region of Cameroon, in Bamenda, which is the melting point now of today's crisis in the northwest region. Mr. Kimbang, happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Javis. Thank you for the compliment. Happy Sunday to my co-panelists. I'm so happy to be here once more. I wish to say that our National Day is coming. Thank you, Engineer Dixon. The way you analyze Ngano, it shows that all of us are so patriotic. And if sometimes we grumble, it's not because we hate the nation. It's because maybe we are not living the Cameroonian dream, and that's why we complain. So I wish to say that I'm very happy. I wish to congratulate Ngano and also Samuel Eto'o. Sadly, I'm just reading a news item that is coming from Kumbu that we lost one of our soldiers in Kumbu last night.
I just saw it
posted to Ngarbu. Those are the things that we as Cameroonians, we have to say we are one people.
It's actually two. One was killed, another one that was killed after yesterday, where he was going to bury the mother.
Yes, another one was killed in Noni. Noni. Then the other one was killed last night. So I think that that's what I always said, that we are fighting a war that does not have a sense of direction, because all of us are brothers and sisters. I think that as I've always said, we need a genuine, frank, and sincere dialogue to end this crisis, because when you look at this crisis, it's like you are just biting yourself, because nobody is winning, be it the military or the separatists. So I think that it is high time that we sit and look at the 10 years of this long war. What have we gained? Actually, we can say that we have gained nothing. It's only losses, destruction of property, killing of persons. The other day I was reading something where they said that we have lost more than 2,000 soldiers, young men. If you can imagine 2,000 workforce that is put outside, then we're not talking about
civilian, and also the armed fighters.
And the armed fighters. So it is our population, it is our parents, it's our brothers and sisters that are feeling the pains. So I think that we have felt the pains enough, and it's time for us to preach this unity practically. Thank you very much.
I begin the program with you. You are in the northwest region of Cameroon, but before then, let me just briefly talk about the issues that we have seen plaguing in Cameroon, the inauguration of the Fecafoot headquarters. Your take on it when you saw ministers celebrating. What came to your mind?
What came to my mind was that I want to congratulate Samuel once more, because we have had such projects in Cameroon where people start projects and it ends that way. But I think that somebody like Samuel has shown us that when we start something, at least we should finish it. It is not because of lack of money, it is because of the will. When you look at the Olympic Stadium, I think it is still not being completed now.
It has not been fully commissioned.
Yes. Why? Because people don't put the interest of the state at heart. They put their own interest. Money is borrowed for a project, and at the end of it all, the money is being swallowed by those at the top, and nothing is being done. And so I think that it is a time for us to not work for ourselves, but to work for our children. Because I think at this age, if I'm doing something, I should be doing something thinking about my children, not thinking about myself. And what has deceived most of us is that most of the ministers, that they think mostly about themselves. I don't see a reason why a project like that will have to drag on for many years, not because of lack of money, but because of lack of will. I think we should have that will to work for the nation if we are given the opportunity to work, so that at least our country should move ahead. Because when we keep on blaming President Paul Biya, it's like we are just wasting our time. Look like somebody like Etofis. He just came to President of Fecafoot. He has completed the building, but President Paul Biya is still there as a president. He would not like give flimsy reasons that it's because of President Paul Biya that I cannot do this. Yes, because
that's the excuse that they have been giving.
Yeah, that's the excuse people have been giving. That no,
now you cannot outshine the master.
Yes, cannot outshine the master. So, but he has come to prove that no, all what people have been saying can be done, and done very correctly.
As long as within your competence.
Within your competence, you can do it. So that's sometimes when
I not talk about party discipline.
Sometimes when I always talk, I refer to my constituency in Cameroon. People say that I talk about it so much, because when you go to my constituency, when you go to Ndu and see what the mayor of Ndu is doing, President Paul Biya is the president of the country, but you see how he has transformed Ndu to a modern small city. You go to Cameroon, see what Mayor Musa Shameful is doing. He has transformed the city into a modern city. These people, they are under the CPDM. They are CPDM mayors. But others will say, no, we cannot do it because government is bad. Where are these people taking their energy and their resources to do what?
Or they will tell that party discipline.
That party discipline. There's no party discipline say that you should not develop your area. People have just tried to lie under the umbrella of party discipline to be stealing and embezzled, and they then keep their citizens suffering. So I think that as a good citizen, when you are given a job, do it with love and sincerity, with patriotism.
Okay, Brain, you watch the inauguration. This is a youth, Samuel Eto'o, doing what many people did not do, because he's not the president he's not the one that laid the foundation stone. And when the foundation stone was laid, there have been about 4 presidents, 2 normalization committee, and 1 president before him. And many people are saying that, oh, he's taking the glory, he's taking the glory. But what have the others done? In your opinion, when you saw those ministers there, could they not have also done the same thing in their respective ministries?
They could have done, and their presence there, although others came before him, just for the fact that he came and finished it. It's a point he's trying to show, as our father said, that it's not as if they don't have the resources available. It's the love for the people and the love for what you are doing. He loved football, that's why he's serving the people in the area of football. And because he loves the football, he loves to have a good office, he loves to have a good pitch. If you don't love your brother as you love yourself, you cannot give to your brother, you cannot provide something for your brother like you would like for yourself. So the people and our fellow ministers who came there is like to tell him that boy, what others have tried and failed, I think we think the money we have been supplying to you, the money that have been coming in, I think you have been doing good use of it. There is a saying, I think I've been hearing, they say, see, if you want to steal money, it's better that you steal and build something, let them see part of what you have done and then you eat the other, compared to steal and nothing happens. And at the end of the day, you cannot say there was bad governance. Because if someone else come in their same position, the same resources available, the same everything, and still be able to do even more than what 3 of your predecessors were unable to do, then that is a report card to market. That is like he's giving out a script, a marking script to the rest of the people that came before him. The question that would be is like a question: what happened to the rest of the finances, the resources that were coming in the previous years before him? So those ministers are like coming to say, "Boy, that's a good job." And I think, and as a youth, I think that is what the Jovian's party is like saying. S'il y a les jeunes comme ça au pays, le pays peut changer dans n'importe quel ministry. Means in any ministry, if there are youths like that, we are not always limited youth because they are called 50 youths, but you should have the love for what you're doing and for the people. So anyone, whether you're a minister or you are not doing your role well in your what you're doing in your ministry, whether it's in education, in finance, that is a report card showing that you don't love yourself in that area. Because if you love yourself, you like to provide the resources and the facilities for the people whom you have been given in charge of. For. So ministry, or they call it ministry, is not just a position to exert power, but it's a position to serve the people in the domain. If you hear ministry, just like the church domain, it's the same word they call, right? Ministry of Finance, Ministry of this. So you're a minister, just like in church, they call the pastor a minister. They are there to serve. So if you are in your domain, you're not serving, that means you're failing the people and you're failing in your own calling. I mean, you don't love yourself, because if you cannot provide for the people, you don't love yourself. So thank you.
Okay. Let me remark something. Yes. I want to greet one of our viewers in Bamina. He has been a fervent viewer, Mr. Kwan Jacob, who is listening to us now. So I wish to thank you very much. He has always been with us, following up the program.
Yes, Kwan Jacob, I remember that name very well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Engineer Dixon, your take on Samuel too, because some people are saying that, oh, he just contributed just 10%, we are hailing him. Is it easy to finish a building?
As an engineer, Mr. Javis, I must say Samuel Etofis, our elder brother, at this point have demonstrated unwaveringly that a youth can do it. That building is a building that was launched close to a decade ago. 10 years, not a short time, it's a very long time. And has been struggling to get to where it is. And I think our elder brother, when he came in, he made that his priority to see that building completed. When it comes to negotiations and diplomacy, I think Samuel Eto'o is top. Some time ago last year, he visited the CEO of UBA Bank, Tony Olomilo. When I saw that visit, I knew immediately that is going to strike a deal. I don't know. I'm just saying based on my own interpretation. I don't know if that's what happened. But I am saying, as somebody who can analyze, he was with Tony Olomilo, the CEO of UBA Bank, to strike a deal to see into it that that building gets to completion. I don't know if Cameroonians are glued to such movements when leadership is involved. A leader is someone who knows how to get things done, is someone who knows what has to be done,
and when it's to be done.
And when it's to be done. And I think that these three qualities Samuel Etofis have demonstrated. In engineering, starting a building is not what really matters. Completion is what really matters. Finishing, for those who have constructed, is one of the most difficult part of a building. And believe me, what I saw on social media, I hope in the coming weeks I'll visit that building in Yaoundé. But what I saw on social media, that is a national jewel. It's a national jewel. And he went further to demonstrate what leadership is. Meaning, disparity in opinion doesn't mean enmity. I followed his speech. He said, Mr. Minister, Your Excellency, addressing the Minister of Sports, we have done it. He didn't say I.
Yeah.
That is maturity. Despite the clashes that they had.
It's for the betterment of the nation.
It's for the betterment of the nation. How else do you want to see leadership in display?
People were even shocked that the minister was there.
Yes. He said, we, sons from the other side of the sea, because they are all from littoral. We, sons, history will write it today, that we did it. I was moved by that speech. I said, this is what we want to see in this nation. The fact that I don't agree with your opinion doesn't mean you are my enemy. We should have that liberty where I can give you my own point of view and you give me your own point of view without me thinking of how I should lock you up or how to use the military against you, how to brutalize you. That is a maturity we're talking about.
You respectfully disagree to agree.
I respectfully disagree to agree, and it should be okay. Samuel Eto'o demonstrated that. I followed that event. And I think if we have leaders that are keen to the understanding of the dynamics of how us, the youths, we are thinking, you understand that is the kind of leadership we want to see, where things is not, they are not about I, it's about the nation,
the collective.
It's about us, it's about the we. Because I don't think Samuel Eto'o is doing that, putting all of that energy so that he should stay there. He is looking at the future of Cameroon football, and the CAF president said it spectacularly, that the future of Cameroon football has been revolutionized. Cameroonians are not aware that the way we now view the third division and second division has changed. I followed the last season. It is now being broadcasted on the TV.
And people are now going to the pitches.
People are going to the pitches to watch. There is a revolution. And I think we should only follow he who knows the way and have decided to show the way. I think so far, Samuel Eto'o, our elder brother, the football legend of Africa, one of the football legends of Africa, have shown that he knows the way, he has seen the way, and he can bring that future that we hope for. Okay. So what else can we do but to say congratulations, big brother? We are all behind you. We are all behind you. Keep doing your good work.
And thank the head of
state. I will thank the head of state. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to the topic of the day. But before then, let me read this message. Greetings to you, Charles Kebwa, our Northwest-based correspondent in Bamenda, who is watching this program. He's in Bamenda currently right now. Charles Kebwa is a very daring journalist who is working with us at Tah Mai Javis Prime. Greetings to you. This one reads, says, I am watching from Bamenda. A special greetings to you, Bamenda. Mr. Kimbang. Samuel Eto'o is a genius. He deserves the highest state recognition. The inauguration of the Fekafoot headquarters marks its mark of integrity, hard work. He has proven a leader does not need to change the foundation of the predecessor, contrary to what we see in our ministries, where people are fond of abandoning the project their predecessor started. Samuel Eto'o is the most admired and the most popular Cameroonian outside, but many Cameroonians do not seem to recognize him. Thank you very much, Mr. Nkwine Jacob, watching from Bamenda. I begin this topic with you, since the camera is with you, Engineer Dixon. More than 40 years after the National Day was inaugurated, the 1972 referendum, Cameroonians will be celebrating another National Day on the 20th of May, which is on Wednesday. What is the state of Cameroon's unity?
After I believe before the referendum, 1961, there was a plebiscite. And
the 11th of February.
11th of February, there was a plebiscite where the Southern Cameroons have to decide whether they'll gain their independence by joining Nigeria or Cameroon. I believe our forefathers had a foresight I will not want to be judgmental, but I believe the decision they unanimously took
the best interest of
is
the
the
generation.
best interest of the generation. So, but we are yet to have that interest being manifested. We are yet to feel it. So I will not want to say they didn't see well. They saw well and decided that unanimously we are going to join our brothers of the other side to gain independence, our French brothers. That's what I'm talking about. And it just so happened that, is it 1973 or 1972?
72.
Okay, 1972, the national referendum, I wasn't there, but history tells us that the referendum came as a result of the cost to manage the structure of the federation and many other things at a time where the president, in his infinite wisdom, believed that the state could no longer support certain, our forefathers again played a key role to see into it that they can support the vision of the president then, Amadou Ahidjo, to restructure the state, and they gave their full collaboration to the best of my knowledge. And that was done. Now you're coming back to your question that how united are we? I will want to say after the referendum, a lot of changes took place. There was a dissolution of the mobile wing, which was the police of the southern Cameroon, yes. And there was a creation of the police training school in Mutengene to see into it that all the police force is trained under one umbrella. These were good moves. I want to say these are achievements of unity. So after the referendum, there were key achievements to guarantee and establish the unity. First, in the armed force, we saw quotas in terms of recruitment of armed force. Yeah, it was well defined by the former president, President Ahidjo, how many percent will get from Southwest, how many percent will get from Northwest, regional integration in the recruitment of the armed force. Secondly, in the parliament, the lower house, as we call it today, the parliament, you discover that there was a huge effort, which before the referendum, there was a house in Boya. That house was dissolved.
Yeah, the House of Chiefs.
Yes, it was dissolved, and now there was a new structure. It was also dissolved. Yeah, the parliament, not the chiefs. I'm talking about the parliament. So after the dissolution of the West Cameroon parliament, there was now a new structured integration to see into it that all the West and the East Cameroon are represented. So these were infrastructures of unity. Yeah. So it was successful. Okay. But now we can't just look at one end. It came with all of that. Even the economic management of resources also was unified. We have agriculture in the north, we have timber in the east, we have oil in the southwest, we have minerals in the northwest, and many more. We can go on in the west region, agriculture. In the central region and south, we have gold and many other minerals, uranium up in the far north. So all of these became under the management of the unitary system. So, how united are we? I have given highlights of all the infrastructures where we can see that we are united. But what is the influence or the impact of this unity now to the general economy, and how does it impact the day-to-day life of the common man? That is where I may want now to deviate. Okay, I may want to deviate because all this infrastructure that could guarantee the stability were given the attention they deserve. Now the other ones that will guarantee the livelihood of the people under the unitary system became a question mark. We are talking about road infrastructures. We are talking about the state of our schools. We are talking about the availability of medical supplies in our hospitals. We are talking about agriculture, availability of pesticides, fertilizers for the agricultural sector. Here, I believe that the unitary system didn't work well to guarantee and ensure that the logistics and supply chain for all of these, to guarantee the stable livelihood for the citizens are not guaranteed. So that is my belief. So what is the way forward to see into it that the state remains indivisible? Number one, I believe that the unity of the state needs to be redefined. There is major move from when the president visited France and talked with Mo Ibrahim, where he declared his intention to see into it that the two regions of the West, former West Cameroon, be given a special status. It's not enough, because where we are now, we are not looking only at the two regions. I've lived in the north for close to 3 years, Mr. Javis. I know the suffering that is happening, that takes place in the north. So I believe that the decentralization process should be facilitated.
We were told
the decentralization process should be, I'm talking about true unity now.
We are told that we are in an accelerated decentralization.
It should be accelerated. Number two, before the implementation of certain class of projects in this state, there is something we call environmental impact assessment. Mr. Javis, as I speak to you, there are people who sit in their offices and conduct environmental impact assessment. They don't even go to the field. What is the objective of environmental impact assessment? Is to see into it that they have had reconsultative talks with the neighborhoods that are involved with these projects, so that these people should be able to accept this project and don't see the project as a compromise. We have had conflicts with areas where timbers have been exploited, where youth riot. It means that somebody did not conduct the impact assessment very well and send a falsified report to the state, and the state believed that report. We have had cases where the Heracles farms in the southwest came, not after how many, they fell into crisis, that NGOs went behind them, they have taken huge sums of chunks of land. What am I saying in this? That the decentralization should be proper. Let the various regions manage themselves, because if they manage themselves, they will tell you their story, they will make you understand their culture, and not somebody in Yaoundé dictating what project they need. They should be the ones saying we need this or not. Okay. And that is where decentralization comes in all its aspects, in agriculture, infrastructural development, and more.
Mr. Green, thank you. How united are Cameroonians today? Do they feel the unity from the north to the south, to the west, to the east? As it is always been said that tes servi que ce soit le seul but pour remplir le devoir toujours. How united, how are we remplir le devoir toujours? De l'Ouest à tout amour.
The unity is just, I can say, there are many phases. Unity is in many phases. There is individual, I call personal unity, as we call population, individual unity. There is system unity, like where I say different ministries uniting, like the legislative, they were called a different unity. And there was also what we call, before making a unity or before making any decision, there has to be a final end. You are making, if you are saying this, you are uniting because this was a problem. Then, if you are uniting, is to solve this problem, and you are saying that this is a goal we need to have before this time. The thing there is, why we're uniting, or why they were doing, let me say on 20 May for the referendum, to make sure that the Federal Republic of Cameroon become the United Republic of Cameroon. Sorry. So, first of all, they were setting that in place because they had cost structure, according to what the history tells us, that they had a cost issue in managing the two systems. But now, after that, was there any plan? There was not even any plan we saw in history. I read, they never even told us that the country said, okay, by 1990, this is our vision that we are going to see, if at all, what we have put in place, we are going to evaluate. Has it worked to this level? By 2000, we are going to analyze. So, by the way, there was nothing put, they just said unity. It's just like say, I'm traveling because I'm tired of Douala, so I'm going to travel. You just carry about travel. To where? How are you going to know you have reached that place? How are you going to know to measure? So first of all, we can look, they succeeded in other areas, like I say in course structure, they succeeded reducing the course normally. And secondly, before that, we had an issue of the different regions when it comes to language in communication. And there's what before they usually call the Bamenda. I think due to this Anglophone crisis, I think it has even helped the unity go more faster. Because now the people have realized that, c'est nos frères, they are our brothers. The English people, they are our brothers. The French are realized, the English are realized, the French are our brothers. So why are we even fighting? Do you know that in Douala, let's say we can call Bonabero can call it the English region of of Cameroon.
So yeah, are you saying that instead the English region is trying to assimilate the French region? Because we just recently saw the Taro banning of Achu in Douala, the Macharo. If they can ban Macharo,
yeah, culturally, the Southwest culture is dominating in Littoral. So
yes.
It's not just Southwest, as he said that they say, "On I say the last assimilate me, on I should." The thing is not that they are just first population. They try to assimilate us when it comes to language a little bit, but this they call it that this crisis came and made it more easy and such way. Now the state does not need to do anything. The natural disaster, they call it the disaster caused it. Everyone had to assimilate.
But now it seems that it's not going the right way, because people are now raising alarm that, hey, because you come to Bonamoussadi in 10 at least 5 understand English or 6 understand English.
Yeah.
Before the crisis, that was not how it was. You move to Bonaberi, that's even the worst. In 10, you can get about 7 that are to tell from either northwest or southwest. You move to Ndogbong, yeah, the same in some key neighborhood and
Misoke,
Bepanda. You move to some.
That's why somebody was saying that
those neighborhood.
The Anglophone crisis is
okay, so you see that the people now, when we decided, when the people come this way because we are feeling for asylum, which is actually coming on the other side to visit your brothers, it started just like we did what China usually does, not like the culture of China, what they do to other countries. When they go, they sort of call Chinatown, they sort of call this town, they sort of call Portugal town. Means they create society and such way reflects their culture. So the assimilation now, when the English people came and they began to interact with their French brothers, the French brother interacted with the English. At the end of the day, realized we are the same. And our French brother realized again that the Cameroon, we are trying to fight that a neutral language, French. It's only French that is dominating. No. At the end of the day, French countries in the world are smaller than English-speaking countries. So the parents and the brothers and sisters in the French side said, mon enfant va parler le français à la maison, we speak French in the house, but you go and learn English in school. Seriously, I have a landlord, he's a pure francophone, he's a chief in this French region. I usually speak French with the children, but one day I was speaking English, they respond, I was like, vous parlez anglais? They said, yes, we speak English. I asked the father, he said, no, all my children, they go to English schools, you speak French in the house, you learn French, you learn additional French in school. So the people, not only us now, the French, our French.
So we are now assimilating.
It's not that we are now trying, even them now, they are rising up to see that it's not just a matter
so we are one.
We are, yeah, in terms of language, we are trying to be
one.
In such a way, we can talk, you can reach, you are talking to someone who is a pure Francophone, you are talking in English, you understand clearly, you responding in French, and an Anglophone is responding in English, and I responded. That is what we call bilingualism. You must not be speaking French for me to speak French in return. But if you speak French and speak English, you can understand me. We are more at a greater level, even more than those countries that try to return. So in that area, I can say the country and there's a unity in that one, natural, which is coming naturally right now due to development and how parents in the French region are seeing that if my child wants to travel out of the country, must not travel to France. It can go to the US, Canada, other countries. So they are trying to make sure their children have the same level and interaction is easily free. And you see in the government now, the government too, as I said, is structural too. The government, they are trying to make the thing to be balanced too, because before, they said they were only most, even in the educational sector, scripts were coming by English. They'll set exam and just do auto-translate to French. But now to try to make that balance, to make sure that the unity should be there, they are putting systems in place that when the English section is being made, they will look for professional English speakers to come and translate. They don't want you to go translate because many people failed exam in the English region due to that, because people do not know how to do that. And secondly, you see in the government, they make sure that no communique comes again anymore in one single language. It's a taboo. So that is a part to show that before we were on a Furegadepa, and now we are looking at you. I'm sorry for the English speakers who should hear me speak English and enter with French, just because I grew in all the regions. So that's what we call bilingualism. So you realize that all the scripts that come, and when I say communicate, is a taboo that one should be released in a state or even in any company. So you can see that the unity, we're actually moving towards it, and we are going to get there.
Okay, good afternoon to you guys in the studio. How can we be talking about unity when brothers are killing each other for almost 10 years now? At the same time, our leaders are watching and only hanging on power till thy kingdom come. Winka Edwin, writing from Fumbot in the northwest region of Cameroon. This one writes, the joining of Southern Cameroon with French Cameroon was not a decision that came deeply from the mind of Southern Cameroonians. What made the Southern Cameroonians to vote the plebiscite to join the freedom Cameroon was due to the ill treatment that was meted to the English-speaking Cameroonians by the Nigerian population, which English-speaking Cameroonians felt like they were on a living hell on earth. So they decided that there was no other way to run from this ill treatment than to join the French Cameroon, and that is why you hear there was a statement that it is better to die in water than to die inside fire, because at least before you drown you will at least drink some of the water. That was why we, the English-speaking Cameroonians, decided to join the French Cameroon. And during that time, if this joining, there was a real unity. During the time, there was a real unity and love that existed between the two Cameroons, because they wanted to make us feel as if they were nice to the English-speaking people, so that they infiltrate us very well as they have done before now. Their own ill treatment started till today. So, in a nutshell, I want to say that there is no unity, no love, no social cohesion between the English and the French Cameroonians. All they are doing is just window dressing. Ella Divan, writing from Kumba. Yes, what you are talking about, the French, the water and fire, that was a speech made by Fonachirimi. Fonachirimi said French Cameroon is fire, while French Cameroon is water, while Nigeria is fire, and he said choose wisely. So that was for Nachirimi. Let me take on this. It says, how united is Cameroon, Mr. Tah, is a question that Cameroonians are far from providing answers seriously, because when you go on the ground, you will discover that we are very far from the word unity, coupled with increasingly hate speech. I think we need to sit down and ask where we went wrong, and not parading military on May 20th. Good afternoon. I am Tombang, writing from Noni. How united are Cameroonians? The Cameroonians feel this unity.
Tah Mai Javis, I would just say that Cameroonian truly we feel unity. That's the truth. The thing is that the unity is we cannot differentiate between economic hardship and unity. Because at first, growing up in the village, we thought that all French people are people who are enjoying. And we, the English people, we are suffering. But if we come to Douala here, we discover that I even live a better life more than most of the Francophones. I live in a comfortable house more than most of the Francophones. I have a better job more than most of the Francophones. So now that unity is like, when we look at this issue of not being united, it is because we feel that we are not being treated well, which is very true. Because there are some people that hold power at the level of Yaoundé, that when you go there and you speak to them in English, it is as if you are a foreigner in your country. And there are some of our English brothers who have come to the French zones. For example, the police, most of the police people, men in Bamenda, they have come to the French zone, who are English brothers. I know some of people who are from my village. They have come and they have learned small French. While in Bamenda, they harass you in French. And now French has become like a language of harassment. Yes, because it is very difficult to see somebody harassing somebody in English, a military man harassing somebody in English. they harass in French. And that is what I've been showing, that there's no unity. If you look at what Engineer Dixon said here, he is an Anglophone. Francine Gano was fighting yesterday. He did not sleep. He was up throughout the night. Why?
None of us yes.
Because it is he felt my brother is fighting. I should support my brother. When Cameroon national team is playing,
stay up 1 a.m.
all of us, the
Anglophones, the 2000 Olympic Games final.
The 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney. I did not sleep. the final we were playing around 2 a.m. I was in my village in Binchwa.
It's
a small village where everybody was up, waiting and watching the match. That is to show that the love they have for their country. So we should not differentiate between economic hardship and not being united. And if you look at what we are thinking about the French banning tarot dimanche, the English people, most of them, they have grown in very harsh conditions. Very harsh. Secondly, most of the English soil in the Northwest, they are not fertile. You need to till, you need to suffer before you eat. It's not easy to sell land up there and have huge money. So we have grown and we have learned to bulldoze, to work before we can eat. So when the English people do this war, which I can call maybe unitarily, it is a necessary evil because it has come to unite many Cameroonians. Because there are some Cameroonians, there are some Northwesterners and Southwesterners who are in the Douala, who are in Yaoundé, they are in Banyon, they are in many parts.
They will never go back.
They will never go back. And those are people that have never dreamt that they will ever come here. So now, most of our girls that have come here, they have got married to Francophones. Most of our boys that have gotten married to Anglophones. And you see that the war has now become a necessary evil to cement the national unity. You can look at it from a negative perspective.
I was saying.
But it is a fact. So now, when the English people, when they come here, you know that most of the Douala people, they are used to this. Maybe they sell their land and they enjoy their money. But when the English people come here, you go to most of the businesses here in Douala, like the food, people are selling food, people are carrying things on their head, selling, people who are moving snails, people are moving with shoes and
pepper soup,
all things on the head, selling. Very true. All these things are being done by the English people. And they don't see it as suffering because they make a lot of money from it. So now, since the Francophones, they cannot do it, it's as if we are now assimilating them. No, we are not assimilating them. We are only fighting for survival. Most of us, we are fighting for survival. So I think that with the passage of time, Cameroon, there has been some unity. But I've always, one thing, blamed the Francophones. One thing. They are my brothers, but I blame them. The crisis that has come in the Northwest and the Southwest, this crisis was not supposed to be there. When our children were brutalized in Boya in 2016,
around December
2016, let me give an example. When the Boko Haram started in the north, those who contributed food and money, the first persons that contributed food and money were the tertiary sisters of Shishon in Kumbu. They said, our brothers in the north, they have been hit by human disaster. They contributed food, they contributed money, they contributed clothing, they contributed all the basic necessity and took it to the north. But when our own crisis started, what did they say? They crease Anglophone. Meaning, they have removed their hand from us. We are no more their brothers. It was their place to go out massively on the street and say that no, you cannot treat our children in Boya like this. They are our brothers' children. You cannot treat them like this. When do you know your brother? When do you know your sister? You know your brother and your sister when you are in problem. If our children were robbed in the mud, if our children were manhandled, and when people started resisting, you call it the crease Anglophone. That was a sign that you are showing that I'm not part of you. I want to believe very strongly that if this crisis had started in Douala, in Bafoussam, in Yaoundé, the Anglophone would not have sat quiet. They would have said, no, let's support our brothers. Let's support our sisters. So I want to believe that individually, As Cameroonians, we should be our brothers' keepers. I think if I leave this country and I go out of this country, anybody I see holding Cameroonian flag, whether it's a francophone or an anglophone, is my brother. But when we come to Cameroon, there are some people who believe that being an francophone, you are superior to an anglophone, which is a wrong concept.
Okay.
And there is something that is bothering me as far as this government is concerned. When I see the way they treat my father, Joseph Jangote, sometimes I feel bad. Because last time he was in Mboya saying that there will be no construction of a refinery in Kribi. By the time I was leaving Mboya, they were announcing a construction of a refinery in Kribi. Those are some of those things that maybe sometimes make us to feel that maybe we are not part of.
There's a disconnection.
There's a disconnection somewhere. But notwithstanding.
Even with the issue about the launching of the Feka Food building.
Yes.
Where a letter was seen circulating on social media, allegedly saying that the Minister of Sport have been assigned to be the head of state personal representative, whereas the Prime Minister also received another letter allegedly proving that he will be the one to preside over the event. Yes. So at the end of the day, who is who? You are presiding over the head of state personal representative is there. So
those are the things I'm saying, that some people are undermining the unity of this country.
Okay.
So as brothers and sisters, I believe that we all love this country. Okay. This country belongs to all of us. Let's work for the unity of this country. Let the economic hardship not make us to believe that we are two people.
We're coming back to you. Good afternoon, Mr. Tah Mai Javis and the guest in the house. How united Cameroon is 54 years ago. Forcefully united on paper, but living as different persons in culture, territory, and worst of all, positions in the unitary state. Anglophones are taking and are living in this country as a small brother that have no say, deserve no major position in the government. What does your panel think about this? Alfred from Ekundu Titi. This other one, right? He says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, great men. Cameroon presents itself as a united nation, yet it faces significant challenges stemming from its ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity. While there is a strong sense of national identity among many Cameroonians and a collective desire for unity, the complexity of these differences, coupled with ongoing conflict, reveal that achieving true national unity is a multifaceted endeavor. To reinforce this unity, it is essential for Cameroon to demonstrate its commitment through action and promote equality and respect of all citizens. This includes fostering an environment of understanding where individuals from different backgrounds can coexist harmoniously without fearing pressure to conform linguistically or culturally. It is important to ensure that opportunities are accessible to all, regardless of language, as Cameroon is enriched by its bilingualism and diverse heritage. By embracing these values, the nation can showcase its unity not just in words but in practice, ultimately working towards a more inclusive and loving society. Wise man Ayakwe, writing from Yaoundé. This other one, right, it says, dear Mr. Tah, unity has been built on deception over the years, and anything that is not built on truth cannot stand. Since we started talking about decentralization, the regional control just about 10% of the resources and authority, while the central government sits on everything. In fact, It is a failed project. There is no political will. Thank you, Mr. Jacob. I want to ask you, Engineer Dixon, does the common man feel this unity? When we talk about the unity, looking at the reality, economically, does the common man feel this? In terms of distribution of resources, does the common man feel this? We just had a recent issue about the Socadel, the top executive. No Anglophone.
Yes, I think that is what I was struggling to highlight in my first presentation, that the state so far have set up certain infrastructure to guarantee unity. I made mention of the military, our parliamentary system, and other state infrastructures. But I ask a simple question: how does this impact the day-to-day life of a common man? If we leave it at the administrative and political dimension, because all of that is administrative and political dimension, we have the operational dimension, which has to impact the day-to-day life of the common man. An intervener said it clearly that the central government controls 80% of state resources, while just 10% is left in the hands at the regional level. When we talk of regional level, I look at the municipal councils, which is in charge of developing their various jurisdictions. I will reiterate that decentralization needs to be implemented to its fullest. And what does that mean? It means giving back autonomy according to the text, giving back autonomy of development to the various regions. What does that mean? It means the state have to relinquish some of its control. Not all, at least some. And that working session needs to be done. That is what we talk of accelerated decentralization. If we talk of accelerated decentralization, then public involvement should be going on by now, not public hearing. There is a difference between public hearing and public involvement. Public hearing is when you bring people together and tell them what has to happen. Public involvement is when you are carrying out consultative talks, which takes place at various dimensions. So I believe that for the common man to feel the impact of unity, which has to come through decentralization according to our Constitution of 1996, it has to begin by consultative talks. The Pope himself reiterated when he visited that dialogue should be continuous.
And that dialogue is not a
dialogue.
slogan.
When we hear dialogue,
it's
not something that comes only when there is a crisis.
He said peace cannot be decreed.
Dialogue is, even the United States as we speak today, is still dialoguing with all its member states. It's a United States, meaning many countries came together. They still dialogue. You see cases where
you see how some that are agitating.
Yeah, of course, a governor stand up and disputes the view of the president
and even mocked him.
This does not apply in my state.
My state, like in California.
Of course. So this is the level we need to get to, not whereby somebody sits in Yaoundé and when he says everybody catches cold. No, it should be the kind of dialogue whereby the people in the far north, they know exactly what needs to happen in the far north, commensurate to their cultural values. If you go to the far north and start opening a lot of bars, you'll be a problem. I live in Maroua. There is a street restricted only for bars. There are some streets in Maroua. You go and open a bar there.
Or a nightclub.
A nightclub there, you'll be in deep problem. So these are certain aspects of culture that can result to conflict to a developmental project, no matter how good you sit in Yaoundé and think that that project is good for the people in that locality. No. You cannot sit in Yaoundé and dictate what is good for the people of Furawa. It takes the people of Furawa through consultative talk to define exactly how it should be based on their economic values, cultural values, and social values. If we don't get to this level, then the unity will not be felt at the economic level of the day-to-day life of the average Cameroonian. That's my point.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be coming back to you. This Mrs. Sweet. I want to thank my elder brother, Mr. Kimbang Vitalis, for the statement about the Francophone not having concern over the crisis in the English zone and the English people feeling because that was exactly their word saying, c'est la crise anglophone. They never care to show concern that we are their brothers. But when elections came and things turned upside down, they started let's join to protect the vote. Please, Mr. Javis, I want to say it's the Francophones who are dividing this country, and I think Mr. Kimbang Vitali's statement he just made should sink into the herd. Okay, Ella, thank you very much. This one, right? It says, hello, Mr. Javis. The French version and the English version of the national anthem does not unite us. George and be writing from Bafoot. You're right. There's a kind of disparity between the French understanding of the anthem and the English version, because if you get the English is O Cameroon, cradle of our fathers, thy holy shall reign in our midst, they now repose. Now in the French version say, O Cameroon, but they knows and said, va debout et jaloux de ta liberté.
None of our ancestors rose.
Yes,
were jealous
and be jealous, rise up and be jealous. Va debout et jaloux de ta liberté. And then you get the comment sur les son drapeau fait doit être un symbole ardent et joie de unité. Que tous tes enfants du nord au sud, de l'est à tout amour, te servir, que ce soit le seul but pour remplir le devoir toujours. Chère patrie, tes chéris. Now you look at the Cameroon, the English version talk about Holy shall reign in our midst and our repose. Dear fatherland, thy worth no tongue can tell. How can we ever pay thy due? Thy welfare will win in joy and love and peace. We will be to your name ever true. Land of promise. So there's a kind of big disparity here according to what Mr. Jacob is saying, because if you look at it, even when it comes to the final ending of the anthem, you hear the Chepati déchiré et tout notre sel est vrai bonheur. Notre sel est vrai bonheur. Notre joie, notre vie est à ton amour et le grand honneur, the grand honor. But when you look at the English one, it says, land of promise, land of glory, thou of life and joy, our only star, thine be honor, thine devotion, and deep endowment forevermore. So if you look at all this, it still plays deep into what we are talking about, the national unity, a harmonized nature of our anthem. But anyway, some people argue that it's translation, and you cannot have word to word or mot to mot. Now, in terms of economically, distribution of resources, are we united in positions of the government?
On paper, in terms of resources distribution on paper, based on what is very, I did accounting for almost all my life, based on what the tax law shows, it shows that 10% of every tax that is for every company that are paying is supposed to run the councils, it's supposed to run in that region before the remaining goes to the central government. So the thing there is, majority of the people, when they have that power, even if with the little you have, because the Bible says if you don't manage the little you have, you cannot manage the cumbersome. So if the 10% they are giving, you can even do a little good about it in your community, in your constituency, let the people even see what they have given, what the 10% is doing. Then it's not when they will shift from 10% and give you 40% that you are going to do something good with it. Because, for example, the personal income tax, they call it 19.25. It's not totally 19.25. It's 18. Mm-hmm. But now, plus, if you put 10% now on it, means 10%, 10% is 17 actually, it's 17.5. When I calculate 10% it becomes 19.25. So, because that, what are they do, that extra one? Like our father here said that he's congratulating his mayor, the people in his constituency, what are doing. What do you think they plug that money from the air, or is it that the government decided that, okay, I'm going to give these people extra 10% and for you, I'm going to cut your oath between it? No, it's the same resources that everyone in every region in the different constituencies they are receiving. But the question is, what are they doing with it? So it's not whether our brothers in the Anglophone or Francophone that are doing it, it's that the people, our brothers that are in power, in the regions, in the councils, they are the ones not using the money for the efficient or effective use of what is supposed to be used. So that is the first part of it. And secondly, when it comes to the economic part, for example, the government, they are playing their own part to give our own, but the people above, even them too, they are showing that the 90% they are receiving, they are not doing anything with it. Because if they were doing, I can imagine imagine a whole country, our country, you have a budget, and before the first quarter we have already borrowed 1/3 of the money and use it, or we have not seen any renowned thing we have done in the country except that the Pope came visiting and we spend this. To do what? Do they eat? The Pope came visiting you and spend 1/3 of the budget already. And the only thing you can see is that we have taken back how do you call it, Inyo.
We are taking back Inyo.
Taking back Inyo. And after taking it, we just hope there's be a change, although it's even worse for the few days after they're taking light shot.
There's a neighborhood would have buried that have not had like 1 week since Monday.
So it seems as if they want, maybe they are trying to rechange some things. We'll just give them that one for that maybe
benefit of that.
The benefit of that management didn't change. So for that one, the people in charge of power, if you cannot manage the little force that is available, it's not when the 50% is being given to you that you are going to manage. So we should not just blame that there is not equality. Both in the English and French region, our brothers are there in power, as councillors, as this. They are not even fixing the area. We thank God for the ones that are making sure to show that, as I said with Samuel Etofis, what he has done is a proof that the resources have always been there, or if you have the will, you can always get it and you can get the work done. So as a report card to his predecessors that j'ai fait, c'est-à-dire qu'est-ce que vous avez fait. And two, anyone, if there's another person like another council in another region under the same 1% or 10% which they are receiving is doing work, 1, 2, 3, 4 people
like in Campbell.
In Campbell, if people in Campbell are doing the other way they are doing, they are doing, then it's a report card to the others that c'est le même agent. Qu'est-ce que c'est pas? It's the same power. If you have the ability to also ask, if you need more, you can ask.
But what stops a council from opening up? Maybe I'll ask that question to the engineer. You answer. What stops a council from opening up a plantation, having up a company? Is there a law that stops a council?
There's no law.
So why are we bent on tax?
No, if you go to Nkambé, you will discover that the mayor of Nkambé, as of we speak, we have had this. We grow a lot of sweet potatoes in Nkambé. So now he's been council has made in such a way that the sweet potatoes is being transformed into flour that they can make bread, they can make pop-off, and all the likes. So now people have been opening farms now where they can bring their sweet potatoes and sell to the council.
That means the sweet potatoes that were meant before for pigs, because in the northern
yes, it was meant for pigs and dogs.
Because that was what about
selling the leaves.
Yeah, I was in Nkambé the other day and I had to eat bread that is made from sweet potatoes, flour. That's improvement. That's to show you
added value.
Yes, that's to show you that
many
councils or many mayors and many parliamentarians, they are just taking advantage from the fact that Paul is there. Say that we cannot work. But other people who have the interest that people are at, they are doing wonders.
And that one also proves that most of it, that it shows that there is lack of vision for the councillors that are there. Okay. Because if they have the vision, they cannot do what they are doing. Cannot see the advantage of what the people are having. They say, okay, we can bring this resources in abundance and transform it to another thing. So it's also lack of vision.
Now, before moving to Engineer Dixon, let me read this message. Cameroon has never been united from 1961. All what is good about it is the historical part of it, but in reality, there is no unity existing in both sides. And this one says, I am Are Peter Ako from Boya Moliko. He says, good afternoon, House of Commons. I can say ever since the Independence Day, which took place on the 1st of January 1961, right up to 1996, and under the 2006/015/2006 law, have never been united on both territories. Cameroon practice a flexible constitution, but yet the Anglophones are still underestimated. So based on my own opinion, I think there should be a government in order to endeavor the Anglophone region to regain their right back. This is coming from Ako. Now, Engineer Dixon, we are talking about this issue of unity. And many people keep saying that it's not the reality on the ground. raised an important issue about the fact that mayors keep complaining about the 10%. What are they doing even with the 10%? Because there have been some other areas where they have exceeded well in the 10%. That if you cannot manage this 10%, it means you cannot manage 50%. Now, the question I want to ask you is that why are these councils and municipalities not engaging in entrepreneurship to raise revenue?
Mr. Javis, I think our brother here said it very clear. It's dependent on who is going to take the mandate. Not everybody is a visionary. Some people just want power for power. We have one of our panelists who used to say we have the hunters and the shooter. What's his name again?
Mr.
Nick.
Yeah, Mr. Nick.
Yeah,
Dr. Ningwanya.
yeah. He always
Yeah,
said,
Mr. Nick.
Mr. Nick, not Dr.
Anu,
Nick.
Anu.
Mr. Nick Anu. That there's a hunter and there's a shooter. The hunter is a man with a poverty mindset. It's like your sole aim for holding public office is to redeem yourself
and your family
and your small group of gang and your immediate family from poverty. So if you have that kind of man coming to take councils, the first thing he's looking at is how much he's getting to his pocket. Then you have the other category, someone who have lived in the town, knows how things work, and feel the pain, and has something to offer, and then campaign based on what he has to offer. There is no limit. Councils, most of them don't even know the powers that they have. They are so powerful that they can do anything provided they justify it before the state.
Yeah.
Through their constituency, through their parliamentarians, to the right offices, to the Minister of Territorial
Administration, and also decentralization.
Minister of Decentralization, sorry. Councils have the possibility not to depend solely on the tax that is coming from the taxation office. They can mobilize resources from external funding bodies if they have certain category of project. But before, according to the law, before they can open up for external sources, they need some justification that comes from the court.
To explain their need.
To explain the need. It should be validated by the state, and then they can now move, and then they should justify how they use that fund to the state, because the state will not want that you collect money from outside and then you sit and eat that money. The CONAC will come after you. Irrespective of the fact that it's not the state that gave the money, CONAC will come after you. You are embezzling, but that is state fund. So they just need to know the clear mechanism they can use to generate funding, and they should have clear vision. But as we speak now, is not the case, and this is also making them to contribute to the disunity as far as the division of national cake is concerned. Because when we see local health centers complaining they don't have supplies, and councils are there, you see schools. Councils have some roles to play in some of these social amenities given by the state. It shouldn't be left all in the hands of the state. So the consciousness level needs to increase, Mr. Javis. It needs to increase. Who are those going in? Who are the councillors? Do they buy the vision of the mayor? You have councillors whose roles are there to remind the mayor that this money that was supposed to come has not come. This money that was supposed to come has not come. What are we doing with this money?
You were supposed to give my share.
This share have not been received. No.
Well, when are you calling an extraordinary sitting so that we come and take our
share? That's it. So we need. There are councils that are working. Truth be told, in this country, there are councils that are doing just what they are supposed to do. I don't want to mention names, but I know some of the names.
We know them already.
Yes. So I have my reasons, but there are councils that are doing just what they're supposed to, and there are councils that are just there
to harvest.
They are so blank.
They're the hunters.
They are waiting for the next project. That project that was to come, are they coming? Okay.
And that's why
how much have they given?
Let me just give queuing. That's why you see walkways have been blocked. Stores have come and blocked walkways. Areas which were left for future development of road
expansion
have been sold
under the watch of the council.
Under the watch of the council, because they have to collect rent.
Yes, and not only rent, they are working with the local chiefs and eating money.
Because
the case of the poor of Limbe, the evaluation that is going on there is showing that if they have to construct that poor, the money they have to pay to compensate people is too much. Why? They were just selling land, entering sea, selling land. Do you know the space that the poor needs? Just for warehouse alone. Walk from Down Beach, walk right to Sonara. If those lands have not been sold, they are sold. Under the watch of who? The council, the mayors.
So which means that
under the watch of who? The local chiefs. Under the watch of who? The Jews.
And you also have land tenure now.
The same thing is happening with the poor in Tico. Go there and see people have not bought land right to the
so which
airport.
Means that the people will never have their seat.
You are understanding now.
Because
and then they will now start saying, oh, it's the government. It's the government. The government look at what I know what you are doing. Somebody will just come, they will know, will set the land, no problem. When Yaoundé, everything is out. Yeah, it's out. They'll give you now. You think you are selling what? You have your land title. So which part do you want?
And the government has to compensate.
Okay, compensate who? So, no vision. That's what I'm saying.
You see, even in Douala here, you are walking, Boda Musa is even the worst.
It's the worst.
Blue roads have been blocked.
Shops everywhere. Where children have to have recreational. Yeah, children especially a town like Douala, those open spaces should be reserved. When we were growing up, Mr. Javis, we used to play football in the Katia. Two of us.
It should be reserved.
Can our children play football now?
Or a car get by, they push it at that. But now a car cannot get by, they push it at that because they have blocked it. They have blocked.
Go there to Direction Orange. The open space that was there, fresh air. Yes. Now shops. To collect rent.
We should blame the president now.
It's not president. We should stop blaming the president. The president cannot be everywhere. There are some people who have just convinced themselves that the state is in their hands. It's their time to chop. The hunter mentality, they should chop. Very soon they'll be old and they will go. But what country have you left behind? What country have you left behind? Can your children play football freely in their neighborhood? The answer is no. Can your children even have space to do business? The answer may be no, because every area is so occupied without any proper planning. And the councils in question are doing very little. And we have a whole ministry of urban
development, town
planning and urban development.
Don't they move across the city?
I have never, heard that a ministry even organized a conference. Let me not call ministry after. Say all the ministries put together. I've never heard that a ministry.
There have been some conferences now.
No, I've not heard.
I've
not heard that a ministry published that we are going to have conference on this. We need experts who have done research in this area. I'm coming. Who have done research in this area, who can at least come and present to us so that we can. The whole thing is money making. Even the experts that they work with is money issue. You call an expert to come and do a job. Already as he's coming, somebody is coming to help your community. You are telling him that when the money comes out, this is my cut.
This you have raised a very important issue before moving to brain and getting the last round of conclusion, because we are almost out of time. Look at the issue about debt that is littering. I don't know if engineers like yourself have been called for a conference to see how they can valorize.
You are talking only about ways. What of the landslide? The landslide in West Region that took place. Do you know if they used the appropriate experts, we would have preserved life? What happened? Some experts visited the area independently, not under the watch of the state. That inclination had layers. So when the first mud flow happened, it blocked part of the road. That first mud flow was to prevent the second. It served as a stability for the second not to go down. So when the people who look at it, the administrators who were not experts, to their mind, they have to go and remove and clear the road. So after they clear the road, that's when now the second came and they create the when we wrote.
Before you could clear the road, you were supposed to have prevented.
The moment there is a break in nature,
yes,
the first sign, study immediately, send experts there. They are the ones who will tell you what to do. They'll put you at a table on their honor.
So they just call, oh, road on block,
bring that caterpillar, remove it. And they gave, wow, I saw the disaster.
Okay.
We had a flood in Douala. There's already prediction that this year we may have flood again. These are independent predictions. But everybody just sitting like this.
We are blocked, even all the gutters were blocked with waste. Go to Bonamusa, the entrance between from the church, the Catholic church.
Look at what is happening in Limbe. Limbe has flood every year. Mr. Javis, you are an investigative journalist. Tell me if experts have been convened in this state that they should carry out studies to see how they can resolve the flood crisis in Limbe. Look at what is happening in the mountain. For the past 3 years now, the Mount Cameroon has been oozing out water that is destroying properties. These are hazards, and they are not going to reduce. They are going to increase. That's nature for you. Okay. They are going to increase. So if studies don't start going towards this direction to see how these things can be prevented, and who are those who champion some of these studies? The councils. The councils need to do the mobilization. The ministry, they bring the experts together.
They are an expert now. Why are they not using you? You wrote the project. We have wrote several projects on managing waste.
You want me to explain to you how the state is functioning? Even those at the ministry.
Okay,
are they not silenced?
They want me political expert.
You have understood.
You are not a political expert. Because you don't want to stain your name and your integrity.
You have understood.
Brain, way forward of this national unity. What your way out? What's your party proposing to further consolidate national unity? Because most of the messages that have been reading, I've not heard one talking about the fact that we are united. They are saying we are politically united, but economically not united.
So first of all, the thing we need to acknowledge is that the problem of the disunity, or what they are saying, the unity that is false, was not being signed by us. We're not around at that time. We're not alive. The fathers took the decision for our sake, but most of them are no longer alive. So we can no longer be basing on the problems of the past that they are the one who did that. We need to sit together. As first, as the Pope said, there needs to be a dialogue. We need to sit together. Okay. Those were the ones they signed that at that time. What they signed at that time no longer works right now. How can we do together to make it work? Our brother here said it's good that every state is just like how federal states do resources operate. That every state should have autonomy on its own, but it still answers to the central government. That's why you hear that there are federal police and there is national police. Why? Because every state, every project before being sent, if given by the central government, be sent to the regional government, they have to see whether it accepts with their values or not, their culture. So I believe the way forward here is not, first of all, it's for us to acknowledge that the past is the past. We were not there, we did not create it. And we are the present right now, and we, the youth available, we are the ones to move forward. To move forward, we need to see first how we can talk together. Sit and talk, that is the first thing. Secondly, the talk should be how can we do now in such a way every region should have autonomy on their own, report to the central government, and put measures of accountability. Who is accountable to what? And if at this level you don't respect this, what is supposed to be done? Yes, because if at the level of each region there's accountability, then before the central government to come, the people have already, the law has taken place in that area on this own people. Because it's easier for us in our family to hold our elder brother for a crime he committed than for an outsider to come and blame our brother. We will refuse so. We'll say we will defend him if it's an outsider. But if it's in the house, for example, in the Northwest, if it's your brother in the Northwest that needs to hold you accountable, he is going to hold you he's going to hold you that you not do it well, because it's affecting all of us here. Compared to, I will not use a French brother in a French region, compared to someone living in the Southwest who come and hold someone in the Northwest accountable. Okay. So are you understanding? So when there is that power, when there is that ability or law or power given to the region to also have a certain level of authority to judge their people at that level. Then you see that's also going to reduce the workload on the central government. And it's going to see now that those who are there are going to make sure they are accountable to the people who have put them there as a democracy state. They are accountable to the people. And I believe the Jovians party, that's why we are striving forward. And you see, they are sending us youth ahead that what you have in mind, come and speak, come and let the other know. Because we don't want people to be in power that don't have vision for the people. If you look most of the time, most of our people in the municipalities, as mayor and councillor, they don't even read books. Even the constitution, they don't even read. They only hear when you communicate and say, oh, say that this law, this is what it says. Most of them don't read. And how are you going to know to develop your region if you don't even know actually what is happening in your region? Have you ever asked some of them if they have ever taken books to read on the history of that region, how it functions? Have they ever thought, okay, done a research, called agricultural experts, what are mostly produced here? How can we do? So we need visionaries, even if there's a federalist system that everyone is accountable, but we still need visionaries to rule our people, to visionaries that can help us get what we want. It says that when you are hungry, when you lack money in your pocket, before you remember that someone was owing you. So if at all the people that will be putting in the next rounds of municipal elections are coming, parliamentary elections are coming, are the ones that can feel, or the ones that can look into our economic needs and make sure that everyone can get what they deserve with the available resources, because everything can never be available at the full instant. Then we are going to see that people are going to complain less about what is not being done, or who is not doing what, or because we are separated, because we are Anglophones or because we are Francophones. When you are happy, when you have food to eat, when you have a shelter over you, your children can go to school, you complain less about that. These people don't care about me. Whether they say to a Bamenda, you don't care. I have my food to eat, I have my this, I have access like you. So I think that is the way forward according to us, the Jovians party.
Okay. Mr. Kimba.
Yes. The way forward toward living together happily is for us to look at the form of state. Because what is causing problems in Cameroon today is the form of state. If we have a genuine dialogue where all the three parties, the Unionists, the Federalists, and the Separatists, they sit on one table and they decide on the type of form of state that we want it to be practiced in Cameroon, that is going to bring more unity. The reason why we don't seem united today is because some people are saying that we are not part of this arrangement. We are not part of this arrangement. We are not part of this type of state. This is not the type of state we want to practice. This is not the type of state we went in for. For example, most diehard Anglophones who are supporting separatists, when I listen to them, they will always like to quote back to 1961, saying that during the Fumban agreement, it was agreed that the federated state of Cameroon, that there was a clause saying that on no circumstances shall the federal state, the name shall ever be changed. Yeah. To that it was going to remain
the Republic of Cameroon. We have come back to the Republic of Cameroon.
And that some people want now to believe that maybe Cameroon, the government of Cameroon has separated the state, because we were a federated state, went to United Republic of Cameroon, and we now came back to the Republic of Cameroon, meaning that the people now feel that they were removed from that union. So I think that if we have a genuine dialogue where we will come on the table and we'll talk about the form of states, and we all agree that this is the type of state we want to live under, I think that we will live in peace, united, and harmony. But we continue to, like what is happening now, because if you go to the Northwest on 20th May, there will going to be a lockdown, meaning that the people are not going to celebrate because they feel that they are not part of it. And if you have a country where some people feel that they are not part of it, we are not saying that they might not be right, but we should listen to them. If you have 4 children, 2 children, and because that some of the children are not happy with the way you are governing your home, it is not like you have to beat them and send them outside your house. You have to call for a meeting as a parent or as a father. You all sit and you say, okay, why are you not happy being in this house? the person give his reasons. I said, no, that your reasons you're giving is very good, but we cannot do it because of these reasons. But if we say that, no, we don't want to hear you people talk about this one, we want but this one, it's not going to end. Because when you look at this unity, like we said here, there's nobody who hates to be a Cameroonian. Nobody. The thing is that maybe part of circumstances, people now begin to feel that they don't belong here. It's just like if when you are happy, you don't think about if you are an orphan, let's say you are an orphan, and you are living with your uncle or your auntie, and he's treating you fine, and you treat you like one of his children, you will never think about your father. But if he comes now and begins to, you don't feel that I don't belong to this house. No matter how poor your father is, or was, you will not be thinking that maybe if my father was alive, they will not treat me this way. You will not even be longing to go back to your father's house. Even if your father's house was a grass house, you will be longing to go back there. So I think that as far as Cameroon is concerned, let the authority, people that be, the people that matter. Then they will say that, okay, since you have declared that you are a separatist, mean that we have just vomited you. No. Since you have declared that you are a federalist, we have vomited you. No. I think that everybody's opinion matters as far as Cameroon is concerned. Because, as I earlier said, nobody hates this nation. Cameroon is our own. We grow it. If you go to Bamenda now and see how happy the people are with the development that is going up there, that shows you that they love this country. If you go to Bamenda and see how some people, the way they welcome their Francophone brothers, because when you go to Bamenda, there are no many Francophones who are working in Bamenda. They work in a very, very good environment. Nobody is going to discriminate against them because they are Francophones. No. And we interact with them like brothers and sisters. So I think that if we want to live a united Cameroon, we should look at the form of state. If we don't look at the form of state and we think that we can impose happiness, impose unity on people, it's not going to be very easy with us. So
okay, thank you very much. Engineer, where's the way forward? Do you agree with Mr. Kimbang that the form of the state should be looked into? Because whether we like it or not, that some people are still giving that reason that we have gone back to the Republic of Cameroon, which means that we are trying to treat the northern and southwest like any other region of Cameroon.
No, I think the government is fully conscious of the form of state as the way forward. That is why the article on decentralization was activated. Decentralization is a form of state. So it's like we're moving from the unity centralized state to now a decentralized, which is a form of federation, not a federation, but a kind of federation. And not only the decentralization, given the two regions of the English-speaking expression, special status. So I believe what Mr. Kimba is saying is just in line with the motion that the state already have set to see into it that there is long-lasting solution to it, which is what I said as my recommendation from the very beginning, that there should be inclusiveness in the way we do things, and not just inclusiveness by saying everybody come along, but inclusiveness in the understanding of the multi-diversity, cultural diversity to be specific, socio-cultural of all Cameroonians. Cameroon has 10 regions, different languages, different tribes. It is Africa in miniature, for Christ's sake. I believe at one time during reunification in 1961, the OAU admired Cameroon. Cameroon was a talk in the tongues of Africans that it is it's showing the way for Pan-Africanism. It's paving the way for Pan-Africanism, and up to now, Cameroon has not changed. Yeah. I believe we have more foreigners, more other African nationalities living in Cameroon peacefully, which demonstrates who we are as a people in Cameroon. It shouldn't just be at that level, but we should make sure that all the tribes, all the regions in Cameroon feel equally represented. The centralized system of government has not served us very well. That is why we still have so much conflict. If the decentralization process can be activated and all the structures of decentralization according to the constitution are activated and empowered, and the things are rightly done so that projects are not imposed, they are discussed, admitted, accepted by the indigenes to receive these projects, so there shouldn't be conflict of interest, is going a long way to see to it that there is inclusivity in the way we do things. Not that people want to sleep in the morning as they are waking up, they see caterpillars at their door, they say they have to bulldoze here, who send you people? Then they start showing you that there is a project that has already been approved. Approved where? From Yaoundé. The chiefs in that area are not fully aware of. There was no participation in the conception and the design of that project. So what I'm saying is decentralization should come and achieve that and bridge that gap. There should be consultation, be it giving of schools. If you want to give school to a locality, let there be consultative talk and let the people guide clearly where that school will be and what kind of infrastructure will be in that school. So put the people at the center of resource mobilization as well to see into it that things are done according to what the people want and according to their culture. That is the way forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me, and happy National Day in advance, because we will not have any session before Wednesday. So I wish all our nation, our leaders, our president, and the president of ECAFOOD, our president, head of state, happy National Day. Our military, not forgetting our military, they are doing a tremendous job, very disciplined force. If we are talking, thanks to our military, Mr. Javis, happy National Day.
Of course, thank you for coming.
Thank you, and we should wish happy National Day to everyone. Remember, when 20 May is coming like this, we are preparing our shoes already and ironing uniforms to wait. So it's like it gives a memory. So I'm wishing happy National Day to all the students that are going to march, and to the teachers who are going to march, because they march on that day. And every worker that march, and everybody. And I wish to wish happy National Day to my brothers and sisters in the Southwest region. Jovian's party is created in the French region here, but like everyone at the youth there, the country belongs to us. So we are welcoming you. Come and join us so that we can represent our country and let our opinion be made known.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kimbang. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Javis. I want to salute our military for the good job that they are doing, but I would like to say that the police who are in Bamenda, they are not helping things on the ground. And those who are in charge of the police should know that we on the ground, we in town, who are in town, we are suffering under the harassment. I know that you, the big people at upstation, you didn't send them to the field to come and harass us. But you people should know that there's a lot of harassment by your police. And that's why you see some of the citizens in Bamenda, they cannot give information to them when other things want to happen. So the young guys who are in Bamenda, who are policemen, I wish to say that the top-ranking commissioners in Bamenda who send them to the field, they don't send them to go and harass citizens, but most of the citizens are being harassed in Bamenda by the police, which is making things very, very difficult for the citizens in Bamenda. So I wish to wish everybody happy National Day, and I hope that the power that be, they are going to look into our situations, because things are really heavy on us economically. It is not moving. Sometimes you go to the market and you come back, and it's as if you have stolen yourself, because when you look at the paper you are holding, and at the amount of money that you took to the market, you would think that maybe you were robbed in the market.
You start calculating, I bought this.
There are times that I even leave my house with some money. When I go back to the house, I am calculating as if somebody has stolen from me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you all for participating This program will be rebroadcast today at exactly 10:30 p.m. It will be on our YouTube channel. If you missed it, BT Media Group is the YouTube channel. You can get the full video on our YouTube channel. If you want to participate, be a panelist to our program, you can contact us on the numbers that you see on your screen. And also, I want to seize this opportunity to wish all the military men and women and patriotic Cameroonians a happy National Day, and those who feel marginalized, I also want to wish you a happy National Day. It is a moment for us to take stock of our nation and look at how far we've gone with national unity. What are the lapses? How can we ameliorate and make it better and live true to what the Pope said? The Pope spoke. The question is, we are waiting for the government reply. The Pope said peace cannot be decreed. Peace is not a slogan. Peace cannot just be won by taking away guns, but it is a dialogue, and that authorities must come together to discuss with one another. As we celebrate National Day, how best can we do to make it possible for the peace-loving people of the Northwest and Southwest region to live in peace, harmony, unity, and integration without banning of the Dimanche rule. No matter the matter, what matters is your matter. What should matter for you is that you should take a moment and reflect and ask yourself, what are you doing to contribute to the development of our nation and to bring peace to the respective regions in crisis. My name is Tah Mai Javis, Cameroon's commercial capital dweller. Until we meet again, stay out of trouble. Thank you, Hyson. Thank you, Future. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Alain. Bye-bye.